The Tudor Treatment. You will get all the answers that you need to understand narcissism, narcissists, victims, empaths, the narcissistic dynamic from my work. As a consequence of years of analysis, observation, study, consideration, and application, I have a huge wealth of information about me, other narcissists, empathic victims, the normals, narcissistic individuals. I've created this over time through the many books that I have written, the articles found on my blog, the videos that I create for YouTube, the material that is in the Knowledge Vaults, and of course, through the consultations that I provide, whether it's detecting if an individual is a narcissist, and if so, what type, or whether you're an empath, identifying the relevant traits that you have which are susceptible to elevated emotional thinking, enabling you to understand how to deal with co-parenting with a narcissist or a parental narcissist, how to defend your child or deal with the narcissist in the workplace. I have an encyclopedic body of work. Much of this is provided to you free, some of which is charged for, because expertise costs, and it's also done to stop people plagiarizing my work. I should be able to charge far more than I do for what I provide, but as part of the extension of my legacy, I keep it at a reasonable cost. As part of the provision of this information, which will give you all the answers that you need, it's also about the eradication of misinformation. Through my work, every question that you have about narcissism will be addressed. You'll either find it in my books, the blog articles, the videos, and if not, you can ask it of me direct through consultation, and I'll answer it for you. Often, the answer has been dealt with in somebody else's question as a comment. And you may not be able to find it amongst the many thousands, tens of thousands of comments that are made and the answers that I've provided over time. Indeed, on my blog, I have dealt with and responded to hundreds of thousands of queries and comments. But if you ask, you will get the answer because I am the expert. My knowledge about narcissism is unrivaled, both in terms of its breadth and depth, but also being able to convey it to you in a way that you will understand. Because, of course, it is an alien concept to you. The way that we think and operate is not something that you would necessarily understand, and that is not to insult your intelligence. Why would you understand it? It is alien to you. And as part of giving you the best information, I also have to correct the inaccurate information. There's far too much of it out there. Sometimes it's well-intentioned but misunderstood by victims trying to help other victims, regurgitating material that they found on the internet without understanding narcissism, because why would they? And all they do is bolt on their own experiences to existing information and continue to perpetuate the myth. In other instances, the information is incomplete because they haven't had the experiences, they don't have the analysis, the intellect, and how could they know about certain aspects of narcissism when they're not narcissists? More dangerously, there are those that provide information that do so either as a consequence of plain ignorance about narcissism or driven by their own unaware narcissism, their grandiosity in feeling that they have the answers when actually they don't. The need for them to assert control over individuals, resulting in them telling you things such as you can control the narcissist, that you can manipulate the narcissist with a guarantee of success. Such information is not only misleading, it is dangerous for you, for reasons that I have explained. And as part of this, I have been dealing with this campaign of misinformation to enable you to gain better understanding. You win because you succeed, you don't waste your time going on fool's errands, and I succeed because it extends my legacy. We have a win-win. And as part of continuing to do this, I give the Tudor treatment to certain myths, misinformations, misunderstandings about narcissism, and you'll have seen numerous of those titles dealt with in the body of my work. But are there any others that you have seen and thought, that doesn't stack up for me? Having embraced your work, HG, I've seen this elsewhere, and I don't think that's right. Will you give it the Tudor treatment, HG? Sort it out. Give it a few kidney punches. Take it down. Karate chop it into oblivion. Let me know what those titles are in the comments, please, and I will work through them where I see ones which need to be addressed and dealt with. I've already been doing that as a consequence of people emailing me with suggestions. I'm always open and to further suggestions and appreciative of people taking the time to suggest them to me. I'm looking at the broad assertions that are made, not so much necessarily niche observations about narcissists' eyebrows, which is patently ridiculous, but with regard to wider principles of the dynamic, the victims, the narcissists. Let me have your observations and suggestions in the comments, please, and they will get given the Tudor treatment. Thank you for listening.